It is sacred work to safeguard and empower LGBTQ youth to live into their true selves and know that exactly who they are is exactly who they were meant to be. And yes, particularly in a moment of such hostility towards LGBTQ plus people such as this. When I think of QUEERSPACE and the community and mentorship that Nicki has created, it reminds me of exactly why I am in this fight for LGBTQ plus equality and liberation. It is to help ensure that there is a future for even the scared little Appalachian gay boy that I was back in Georgia, to know that he is loved and worthy. And the work that Nicki and her team do day in and day out is making that imagined future a lived and present fabulous reality for so many LGBTQ plus Minnesotan youth here every single day. So please join me and keep the applause going to celebrate Nicki Hangsleben.
What an honor to receive this award. So since I've been a kid, I've always wanted to make the world a better place. I remember in the 80s seeing starving children in Ethiopia and asking my mom, can we send in the $1 a month to help provide food and education? In college, a few friends and I, we started a group called Sisters for Social Justice. We organized conferences on domestic abuse and the exploitation of women in the media, and we even got our professors to show up with all of their classes. At the time, I was studying psychology and teaching students with autism in Minneapolis public schools. I was sure I'd become a teacher, maybe even a social worker. And then I remembered that I loved math. So I switched gears, I applied to the Carlson School of Management, and I got a degree in accounting. And honestly, I felt like a total sellout. About a year into my program, I met with my favorite women's studies teacher and told her about my new plan, and her response completely surprised me, and it was a total gift. And she said, Nicki, that's amazing. Every nonprofit needs a great CFO. And so that changed everything for me and really got me excited on how I can use this degree, these skills, to really make a difference. It took me to Minnesota Public Radio, one of Minnesota's largest, most successful nonprofits and an amazing organization. Yeah, give it up for NPR. Thank you. And later into the world of international development, where I traveled the world working with farmers, cooperatives, governments, and businesses to reduce poverty and strengthen their communities. And then in 2020, when the world stopped, I was back in business school, only this time I was working on my MBA at St. Thomas, and I started to feel like I needed to do something closer to home. I saw our young queer and trans youth in our community struggling. I saw depression, anxiety, and suicide was all rising. Also at that time, I was walking every day and listening to the podcast Making Gay History by Eric Marcus. If you haven't listened to that podcast, check it out. It's really good. It comes out all the time, great content. But I was really inspired, and I was hearing about, folks from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, and I heard the stories of those who came before us and how it just takes one person using their talents to stand up for what's right and to make the world a little bit more equal. Yeah. So, a little bit about my background. I grew up in the 90s with a gay mom, and when I came out in my late teens, I already had this network of support, and I understood how rare that was. I wanted other young people to have that too. So with fewer than 10 mentorship programs for 2S LGBTQIA+ youth across the entire country, I teamed up with local organizations, community leaders, and together we launched QUEERSPACE Collective. In just 4 years, we built a strong mentorship program, provided inclusivity to more than 100 organizations, and just recently we opened a 2S LGBTQIA+ youth center right in the heart of Minneapolis.
Yeah!
Please stop by and love the host, folks. Next year, because we're not stopping with that, we're going to launch a mentorship app to reach rural kids across the Midwest. And we have a vision to grow it nationally so that every queer and trans youth who feels alone and every parent who's also along the journey and is struggling can find the resources and support that they need. So we do this work with community partners, with businesses, many of whom are here tonight, and with an incredible network of volunteers, because now, more than ever, it takes a collective. So I'm truly honored to receive this award. I'm grateful for everyone who has supported me on my journey, to my wife who's here tonight, and my kids for always showing up, to my mom who's also here tonight, for being her authentic self and teaching me to do the same. And I want to thank the amazing QUEERSPACE staff and board, and also all of the community leaders and executive directors of all the amazing local orgs in Minnesota who are doing this work every day. It is not easy, but y'all show up again and again for our queer and trans youth and for our entire 2S LGBTQI community. I could not do this work without all of y'all.
Love you! Yay, Nicki!
So tonight, I leave you with this. Each of us has something, a gift, a skill, a spark, that can make this world a little bit better. So a little bit kinder, a little bit safer. So use it, whether it's an accounting degree from Carlson, or an English degree, or whatever it is that you have that you can contribute to the planet right now. We all need your gifts, because together we have the power to leave behind a world that shines brighter for every kid, every family, and every one of us. Thank you.